welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 148. If you're a new viewer, and there are several of you who are new, thank you so much for stopping by and for subscribing. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for sticking with me and coming back each week despite me. So anyway, yes, thank you all for coming by each week and joining our crafty little bunch. And let's get started. I got lots to share today. I have one finished object, and that is a dishcloth. This is for my daughter-in-law. Now this looks like it's black. It's not. It's actually navy blue. It's just very, very dark. So this is for my daughter-in-law, and I have lots of this navy blue and yellow. If you remember, I made a bunch of pot holders and dishcloths a while back, and that's what this is all from. But I am, once again, not up in the craft cave. There will be a video on my reorganization, but even the kitchen table I'm filming on is a disaster right now. And yeah, I told my husband, I said, I don't want anybody coming over to the house for Labor Day because I don't know if I'm going to get it all straightened up and cleaned up by then. It might end up dumped in a closet otherwise. But I have to go up and do some major work of reorganizing in the craft cave because I have an extra set of bookshelves in there now. And I also got rid of my sewing cabinet, not the sewing machine, but the sewing cabinet. So, yeah, anyway, there's lots of reorganizing going on up there. There's a chair up there now, and I think it's going to be some good changes, but it's just taken me a little bit of time to get it organized. But I should be able to display more of my yarn that way. So there will be a video coming up whenever I get it all put together again, which I hope is soon. So anyway, this is my finished object. And I will probably make her like 2 more of these and maybe a couple pot holders because I have lots of lots of yellow and blue left because I have an overabundance of it. So, and then I have some black that I'm going to make this same pattern. This is the pattern Yoka sent me, and I'm going to use the same pattern for my mother as well. And hers is black because her kitchen's black and white. So that's my finished object. Now my work's in progress. I have a lot of crochet stuff going on, it seems like. This is my scrappy blanket, and I haven't done a huge amount. You can see where I was last week. I've gotten 3 rows done. It kind of looks like I've got a Halloween theme going on right now, or at least fall. I've got a brown, an orange, and a darker brown right now. But yes, it's coming along. So this is how big it is so far. So that is my scrappy blanket, and it's just a shell stitch. That's all I'm doing. Next, I have the knapsack that I'm making for my one granddaughter for her ballet supplies. And I've done a little bit on that last week. I think I was right in here somewhere. So I've put a few rows on, and if it looks like it's kind of oversized, it's because this is 100% wool. It is very what they call rustic, which means scratchy. It's all hand spun, not by me. I did this color at the top, but my coworker's sister-in-law did the white, the pink, and the purple. And then this color here is like green, and it's got that same pink and purple in it. So I'm putting them together because I know that these will be colors that she likes, and it's going to get felted. If all goes well, it's going to get felted, and I'm going to put some grommets on it to make a little backpack for her ballerina stuff. So that is how far I've gotten on this project. Now we move on to 2 of the knitting projects that I have going on. I have the sweater that I should name the Forever Sweater because I feel like I've been working on it forever. It's just slow going because fingering weight is just, it's very thin yarn and it takes longer. And my yarn is stuck to me. It's extremely soft, but it snags on everything. If your hands are the slightest bit dry, which mine always are, it catches and snags. So that's probably why it was not real popular, and that's why I'm mixing it with a bamboo yarn as well. But here's how far I've gotten. That's where I was last week. So I've knit about 1.5 inches. So there it is. I'll be so glad when I'm done, because I'm not going to be able to wear this more than likely. When I finish this, this is a short-sleeved sweater, and we're now getting ready to enter September. So I'm thinking by the time I get this finished, it's going to have to just get put away till next spring. But at least it'll be done and ready, and I'm ready to start on some winter sweaters, which I will talk about in a minute. And then I'm working on the next in the long line of forever dishcloths. This one's for my daughter-in-law. Again, it's the navy blue, and as you can see, this pattern, it's not knit in the round. It becomes in the round when you finish 12 of these little teeth. You gather it in the center here, and then you seam it together, and you can see right here, sort of. You can see right along here where I seamed it. So this is what it looks like before it's seamed. So there it is, and I've memorized this pattern because it's a very simple pattern, and this is my car knitting right now. It's also easier to take to work with me because I was taking my sweater. However, it's getting big and bulky, so it's not always easy to drag along, where this I can tuck into a tiny little project bag and stick it in my pocketbook. So that's been my project there. Then I've also worked on some spinning. Now you saw that I had plied some yarn last week. Here is some of the yarn before it's plied. This is the colored version, and this is merino. The tan that I was plying it with, that it's a solid color, is alpaca. So here it is. Now, some projects I have coming up. I want to try to clear the decks a little bit, but I want to make a fall sweater for the fall. I want it to be lightweight, and Pam Phillips sent me a message and said, check this pattern out, I'm making it. And when she showed it to me, I was like, I want to try this. Now, I'm hoping I can make it work with the weight yarn that I've got, because this is yarn that I bought from Bluprint about a couple months ago. And as you can see, it's all fall colors. I have 10 different skeins, and they are in golds, like some different colors of oranges. I have a couple that are in the gold. I have a deeper orange color, and I have a couple different shades of green. So I want to make a striped autumn sweater, like cardigan, not sweater, cardigan. So this particular pattern is crocheted, and you knit it all in one piece, and it's knit flat, and then you fold it together and you sew it. So you start with the back, and then you go out, I think, and do the arms, and then you do the front, and then you hook the whole thing together. So she was at the back of it so far, and so she and I have decided we are going to do it together. I will put a link to it down below here if you want to check it out on YouTube to check out what it looks like. It's not a shell stitch, but it reminds me sort of one. I forget what the actual name is. The lady who does the tutorial for it does explain what the name of it is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, yes, Pam and I are doing it. So if you check out the link and you want to do it, please join in. We'll have a group making sweater for the fall. So yeah. So anyway, I'm not sure how soon I'm going to get started on it. I am still working on writing up my crochet wrap pattern. I'm getting there. I thought I would finish it by this podcast, and that didn't happen because I had a really busy week at work and other places, so I didn't get it all the way done. So I made some progress, but not as much as I'd like. So I'm hoping to get that finished the next week or two. I have 4 crocheters who have stepped forward and are willing to do the testing for it. So I appreciate all of those who have volunteered to do that. You are my crochet guinea pigs, because this is my first, quote, official pattern. I wrote a pattern for a poncho, but it's just single crochet and pretty simple. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes, but hopefully it'll work out. So that is one of my works that I want to get started on. The other idea, once I take a little break from these dishcloths, because to be honest, I'm getting sick of doing the dishcloths, but I need to get them done for Christmas. I also need to make some cowls for Christmas for my daughter, my mother, and my daughter-in-law. My idea, now they will be knit, but my idea is to write a different pattern. Cowls are pretty simple, they're pretty quick. And I'm thinking of writing 3 separate patterns, but when you get the pattern, you get all 3 options in one. So that's my idea. So I'm going to be working on that. So now it's time to go see what you guys have been working on this week. Now, I have a ton of acquisitions. I mean, a ton of acquisitions. It's been a very exciting week around here. First off, my work has my supervisor is hooked up with Joann Fabrics, and they send us things that they're getting rid of at the end of a season, things like that. And she goes and picks them up, and then we weed through them. We're allowed to take what we could use if it's something that they don't think that the other library branches in our system will use. They gave us 3 cartloads of fabric. I'm the only one that took advantage of that in the entire department because nobody else sews, apparently. Yeah, I had lots and lots of fun. So I am going to insert a little clip here because for me to bring it over here and show it to you, it's stacked up in a stack about like this on a shelf. And I have enough to make 3 or 4 dresses for not like next spring, because it's all cotton. And the other material that I have, I'm actually going to make some project bags and hopefully sell them over on Etsy. So I'm going to stick that clip in so you can see that. Here is all the material that I got. This bottom blue one is enough for a dress. This one is enough for a dress. This one here is enough for a dress. And this one here is enough for a dress. And there's little flowers in here. You can see them. They kind of shimmer. And then I have some really cute fabric. This here is like an artificial suede. So this is going to be the bottom of some of the project bags. And then I have this. And these two are going to go together. And then I have this cute stuff here. There's this brown here. But then I have this really cute right here. It's all different tickets. So there's also some with owls on it and things in here too. But yeah, so that is my fabric haul right there. Now the other thing that I got this week, Tina Hairston, the fiber enabler, contacted me and said, hey, there's a shop over on Etsy that's going out of business and they sell fiber and it's really some good deals, so you might want to check it out. Thank you. I will. I did. I bought. So, yes, I went to, the company is called Wolverine Yarn, or Wolverine Fibers, okay? Now, I didn't buy wool. I bought viscose. Now, viscose, if you hear me rattling, I'm getting it out of the bag. Viscose is considered a natural fiber. It's also called rayon. What it is they take plant fibers, like the pulp, and they squish it all up so that you have a pulp, and then they add some chemical stuff to it, and it mushes down even further, and then they form it into a fiber from there. So this is extremely soft. I mean, it's even softer than my alpaca, and it has a beautiful sheen. So let me show you what I got. I got this gorgeous, and it's showing up true to color. This is like a forest green. It is just, it feels like eider down. It is just so very, very soft. You see that sheen on it? Just kind of has a shine. It's gorgeous. And yeah, so I have 2 ounces of this, and it was like $2 and something per 2 ounces, which roughly $1 per ounce. Super cheap. So this is called Ireland. That's the name of this color. Like I said, it's a deep, deep forest green. It's gorgeous. And then I got this, which is just plain black. And it has a really, all of this has a really pretty sheen. You can see it. See the shine? So, and this is like a real deep black. It's not a charcoal. I mean, this is dark, dark, dark coal black. So that's pretty. I need more black in my wardrobe because I tend to wear a lot of black and gray, although you wouldn't know what I'm wearing here. But I need some neutrals like that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it, but it is super, super soft. Then I got this color, which is called Cinnamon, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a orangey golden brown color. I mean, it's really, really pretty. And again, it's got the shine to it. I mean, this definitely just screams autumn. It's looking a little lighter on camera than it really is, but it's just a deep auburny color. It's very pretty. And then last, I got a brown that has purple undertones. It's called Onion. To me, it's definitely more purple. There you can see it. And it is, oh, it's so squishy. I could just snuggle with this. It is just so very, very soft. So it is a purpley color, and it kind of looks like the color of a purple onion. That's exactly the color this really is. It's purple onion. So there's 2 ounces of each of these. And like I said, this was from Wolverine Fiber. And I paid it was originally $3.25, and then I got a discount because they were going out of business. So I got a discount of $3.92. So all total for 4 different fibers, so 8 ounces, because each of them are 2. So I got 8 ounces of fiber. I spent $9.08, and then to ship it, it was $4.44. So all total, I spent $13.52, and I have 8 ounces of really, really gorgeous soft fiber. So that was another acquisition. And then I have a temporary acquisition. Now, what has happened, one of the viewers, which I didn't know, there's a lady at our church. I did not know she was one of my subscribers. I saw her over on the Facebook group before, but I did not realize she actually watches the podcast. Turns out she is a knitter and crocheter. Who knew? So anyway, Leslie gave me this. We had nursery duty at church last night, and we were talking, and she says, I have something for you. So she hands me this fiber. Look at how gorgeous this is. It is all different. It's purples. There you can see it. There we go. It's purples, but there's all different colors mixed into it. There's like blues and different shades of purple. It's gorgeous. She got this years ago. A friend of hers gave it to her from a yarn shop in Gettysburg that's now no longer there. And I'm thinking this is probably, just looking at the size of it, I'm thinking this is between 4 and 6 ounces of fiber. She said this friend gave it to her along with drop spindle several years ago, and she just never got the hang of it, and so she found it and gave it to me. Well, I told her, I said, this is beautiful. Would you like me to spin it up for you? So that's what I'm doing. She told me, I said, what weight do you want this to be? And we decided worsted was probably a good one. So that's number 4 if you aren't sure what worsted is. It's what your average yarn is that you would buy in a store. So anyway, I'm going to spin this for her and then give it to her and see what she decides to make out of it. So it's a temporary acquisition. It's not living with me. It's just visiting for a while. So yes, so that's my temporary acquisition. So yeah. So now what am I reading? Now you remember last week I showed you a book by Betty Hechtman called Inherit the Wool. I am still reading that. Actually, I just got started. I finished The Murder, She Wrote. I started that one. I'm a few chapters into it, and I found another one to read. There's a lady that's one of our patrons at the library. She has the same reading taste I do, so when she sees something good, I check it out, and when I have something good, I tell her about it too. So this is the 3rd in a series. It's called Knit 1, Dye 2. It's by Peggy Earhart. And I've read the other 2 mysteries in this series. This is the 3rd one. And the series is called A Knit and Nibble Mystery. The characters are a mother and daughter. The woman is a widow, and her neighbor across the street is also a knitter, and they get together with some other friends once a week to have a dessert and have some knit time. And of course, in the middle of all this, they solve some mysteries. So, yeah, it's a cute little series. Like I said, this is the 3rd one in the series, and it's called Knit 1, Dye 2, and I will eventually get to reading this. If you like cats, it also has cats in it. I will eventually get to reading this once I finish the other crochet No, Knitting Mystery I'm reading. So anyway, this is Peggy Earhart, Knit 1, Die 2. Wednesday's video is a continuation of last Wednesday's video. If you missed it, you can click the little I right here, and that will take you over to it. But it was a Ask Me Anything section, and my brother and my daughter had a little fun with some of the questions. So if you've read over on Facebook and wondered what in the world they're talking about, I shared some of my crazy stories last week. There's one more. Well, there's lots more, actually. Let's be honest. I've got lots more. But one more, just in case you happen to read something my brother wrote and go, what in the world is he talking about? When I was a teenager, as soon as everybody graduated from high school, they left our church. So I was like, my brother and I were the only teenagers in the church at one point. Everybody was old enough to be our parent or grandparent, mostly our grandparents. So people were trying to set me up with their grandsons. Well, I was in choir, my mom was in choir, my dad was the choir director, and my brother would sit in the back, he was sitting in the back seat of the church. And in the choir loft were these microphones that hung down from the ceiling, little bitty bitty microphones just to help the sound of the choir. They never were turned on. We never had them on because most of the time I guess they didn't work. I don't know. They were just never usually on. One Sunday morning, this guy walks into the church. My brother on Facebook said, well, it's a good thing it was your husband or soon-to-be husband. And I told him, I said, actually, it was not. This guy walks into the back of the church, and I lean over to the lady sitting next to me and went, who's that? Every head in the church popped up and looked around at the guy who just walked in the back door. I felt this big because the microphone was on. Of all times, the microphone was on. And to add insult to injury, I go in and I sit down in church afterwards, and my brother leans over and goes, I didn't know who he was either. I was like, you heard it all the way in the back. He says, oh yeah, we all heard it. I was like, thank you. Thank you for making me feel this big. The guy never came back. Oh well. But it wasn't too much longer after that my husband showed up in church, and I happened to be singing that day, and my family was sitting in the same pew he was, and so we started talking after church and dating from there, and got married exactly a year later. So it all worked out for the best. I have no clue what the guy's name was. He like made a beeline out the back door as soon as church was over. So now it's time for Now this weekend it is Labor Day here in the U.S. and there are huge sales during the Labor Day weekend. Some of them I am aware of already. Other ones, as I become aware of them or as the month changes, because I know Knitpicks changes what their sale items are on the first of the month. Some of the other sites do as well. I will let you know. I'll send out a real quick little video as I run across other big sales that are going on this weekend. But let me get started with what is on so far this weekend. Getting my cheat sheet here. Okay, Annie's has, they're not listing any Labor Day sales yet at this point, as right now I'm filming Thursday evening because it takes time to do the editing and the uploading. So the sale might come through within the next day or two. Anyway, they have some pretty patterns that I ran across. One is called the Abalone Mandala Tunic, and it's a crochet pattern. So I'm going to stick that picture up. That pattern is between $6 and $8. If you get a digital download, it's $6. If you want the paper form, it's $8. They also, in the knitting patterns, they have one called an easily knit pattern. Not easily, like as in not a problem, but it's easily. I'll put it down here somewhere so you can see the spelling, and I'll let you see what that looks like. And that is $7.99. Now over in Bluprint, They are running one of the Labor Day sales. The sale ends on Monday at midnight, so it only runs through September 2nd. It is 40% off of their kits, their fabric, their yarn, and supplies. Yes, 40% off. You do need to use the coupon code Labor Day 40. So that is Bluprint, and it runs through Monday only. Consumer Crafts is running a really good sale as well. If you have seen my 3-tiered cart, now's the time to order, because they are offering 15% off of all orders, 20% off of orders over $50, 25% off of orders over $150. Now, if you order anything over $49, you get free shipping in the U.S. So that adds to it too. Now, the coupon code is SALE819. Now, if you like to make dishcloths like I've been making dishcloths, Lily Sugar and Cream through Consumer Crafts is the cheapest I've found at any place. So add the cheap, I think the regular price, I forget what their regular price is. I got it on sale. I'll put up here somewhere what the regular price is that they're offering it right now. But then it's at least 15% off depending on what your order is. So it's even cheaper. Yeah. So anyway, that's Consumer Crafts. Create for Less has their Red Heart Classic yarn on sale for $2.39 per skein. The Dollar Tree offers yarn. You do need to buy it by the case. So some of the cases, just make sure how much you're buying, because some of the cases are only 6 skeins, so it would be $6. But some of the cases are up to 57 skeins, and you have to buy the whole case. So you would have, I can't imagine what you do with 57 skeins of the same color of yarn. But if you want that, maybe you want to knit or crochet a tent. If you need that much yarn, you can get it through the Dollar Tree for $1 a skein. Like I said, just make sure when you read about the yarn over on Dollar Tree that you make sure you realize how much you're actually buying per case. Hobium Yarn, just make sure you check out the clearance and the stars of the month. Ice Yarns has their closeout and their garage sales always running, so those are your best tips there to find things. If you want to see a tutorial on how to manage those 2 sites, I do have one up that gives you a little tutorial how I shop for the cheap stuff, and I will put a little letter I up here somewhere. Anyway, just click on that. It'll take you over to that tutorial. Knit Crate offers you 20% off of your first box, and you do need to use a coupon code KCreations20 in order to get that discount. Knit Picks is having a summer sale. They're basically getting rid of all their cotton yarn from the summer. They are offering 30% off. You do not need a coupon code for that. Everything is marked down 30% on all the cotton yarn. Leisure Arts, I had a little chat with somebody from Leisure Arts this past week. They contacted me and said, would you like to review some of our patterns for free? Yes, please. So I talked to them, and they are actually going to send me, I think it's 3 different books of free patterns. So I don't remember which ones I ordered. I know one was like accessories, and I don't remember what the other ones were. But I'm excited, and it's free. How can I go wrong with free? So when it comes in, I will review it and show it to you guys. But I'm excited about that. But anyway, over on Leisure Arts, I looked at their knit and their crochet patterns that I liked right now. They have a Make in a Weekend Comfy Knit Throws. I'm not sure how many of them there are, but I knew there was quite a bit just from the pictures I looked at. It's $5.99 for the patterns, and that's a paperback version of it, and you get a whole bunch of throw patterns. So that's really cool. That's a knit. That's a book on knitting. So over at Lion Brand, they are also having a Labor Day sale. It's 40% off of all of their kits. Kits means the pattern and the yarn. It's 40% off. You do need to use a coupon code 40 off kits. Now when you put that in, make sure that the 40 is 40 capital O and then FFKITS. So don't get the 0 and the capital O mixed up because the coupon code won't work. So anyway, that is the sales for this week. And like I said, I will notify you if any of the companies put in their Labor Day sales, because I'm sure there's more coming. Who doesn't love a sale? I will try to refrain from that, although some of you are enablers and send me pictures and go, look what's on sale here. Yeah, so anyway, yes, that's it for this week. If you are interested in any of the sales that I talked about, you can click the links down below. In the description box, you will see it says patterns and things like that. If you click the show more, it will drop down and just keep scrolling down. They are in alphabetical order to those different companies. Just click on that link. It'll take you right over to there. I do get a small commission if you buy through me, which does help out the channel. So, yes, that's it for this week. I hope you have a wonderful and safe Labor Day, and I will see you again on Wednesday for our continued Ask Me Anything answers, and this one is going to be about the Plain people, which would be, in my area where I live, the Brethren, Mennonite, and Amish. So I'm going to talk about that and what kind of crafts they tend to do, and what their lifestyles are like, and what their dress is like, and whether they interact, because they are a separate people. What does that exactly mean? Do they interact with us or not? So stay tuned on Wednesday to get those answered. So thanks again for watching, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Then I looked over in the crochet section, and they have something called Thoughtful Shawls, and there's 5 shawl patterns in there. If you get the digital version, it's $4.99. If you get the paperback version, it's $5.99. So that's really not a bad price for 5 shawls. That's a little over $1 a piece if you get the paper version. If you get the digital version, it's literally $1 per pattern. So, and there's no shipping involved. So digital is always the way to go if you can.